Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot, and welcome to our next flight in the high-fly Boeing 737 MAX. Today we're going to explore the very high north, flying from Tromso to the northernmost passenger airport in the world in Svalbard, Longyearbyen. At this point, thank you very much to InnyBuilds for providing me with a review copy of Svalbard Airport, and it really looks fantastic, as you guys are going to see yourself in a few moments. Now, let's get straight into this, and I would like to thank my sponsor, Say Intentions AI, for providing me a great ATC add-on for today's flight. Now, Say Intentions is not only doing ATC, but also things like cabin crew simulation, and they even can do data link, VFR, and more. So if you like what you're about to hear in today's video, then check them out using the link in the pinned comment or the video description below. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into this. At this point, by the way, also thank you very much to the lovely community members who created the mod to remove this Asobo UI overlay. We are absolutely going to be using that mod in not only today's flight, but also many others. Alright then, let's get straight into this and let's get going. Our aircraft has already arrived from Oslo, and we're now in the turnaround to prepare her for the flight on to Svalbard. So let's start by reviewing our flight plan, and as always I will be using the PDF flight plan through Firefox to show it to you guys. So this is what it looks like. We're departing Tromso up to the north all the way into Svalbard, and while the significant weather chart is clear, you can see on the wind chart that we will be facing a little bit of crosswind here. Getting weaker at higher altitudes though, so in our cruise level of flight level 380 we should be just about fine. Departing at 8:45, we're going to arrive just about on time in Svalbard, and we have a rather high weight today because of all the alternate fuel that we need to take. Luckily we are not that heavy in terms of our zero fuel weight, so we do have some margin for the maximum landing weight. Now with that in mind, let's have a look at the fuel plan. So you can see 7.3 is basically our minimum takeoff fuel, and you can see the alternate over here at almost 3 tons, which leads us right back to Tromso, where we came from, is just as much as the trip fuel. So if we take our takeoff plus taxi fuel, we end up at 7.4 tons, which should be absolutely fine for the flight. But let's have a quick look into the weather to see if we might need any more, because it's winter time, and obviously that means that temporary runway closures and that kind of stuff could absolutely happen. So departing Tromso, absolutely beautiful weather, clear skies, 1 degree. Cold, but beautiful weather. And cold obviously means good for flying, because that means that our aircraft has a lot of power available. Now, our destination in Svalbard features 260 degrees at 20 knots, and always be aware that this is a true wind, while the runway heading is given in magnetic, so we'll be talking about that when we start our approach. Light snow is forecast, so they might have to clear the runway every now and then, and for that reason we do want to take a little bit of extra fuel, so never mess with snow. Looking into this then, let's take 15 minutes on top, which is going to be some 600 kilograms, bringing us up to 8,000 kilos of fuel, and I think that's all that we're going to need today. So then, 8,000 kilos is decided. Then let's go down here into the electronic flight bag and make sure that we can start the refueling. So that's going to be 3.87 in both the wing tanks, and then we are going to take another 200 kilograms in the center tanks. So let's turn those valves on and start the refueling process here. And let's see, refueling is in progress. Wonderful. So the other thing that I absolutely want to do is to go into the weight and balance menu and tell it to start loading our passengers. We got 140 of them on board today, bringing our zero fuel weight to 57.5. And when we look into the Simri flight plan, by the way, it's a pity that a year after the release we can still not open this on the electronic flight bag here in the iFly. Yeah, then our estimated zero fuel weight is going to be 60 tons, so we need 2,500 kilos cargo. Let's put 2,000 of those in the front hold and then 500 in the aft hold. And here we go, 0 fuel weight looking good, set payload, and then, no, that one I meant to go for, let's go ahead and request boarding please. So with everything now in progress, the next thing we gotta do here is to start aligning the IRSs because, well, we're in the very high north, and as soon as the thing has started calculating, you can see it's now 10 minutes of alignment time versus the standard 7 minutes, so, well, that's what you get for being at that much of a northern latitude here. Okay, so refueling is in progress, so we gotta make sure all those signs are off, then that stuff works. Let's also quickly do the fire test. So that's looking good, transponder should be on standby, like that, and then moving up to the overhead panel. A couple of tests for us to do over here. So flight recorder is tested. Double speed warnings, stick shaker. Looking good, IRS is aligned. Then let's take a seat and we can continue with our oxygen test. Looking good, and then we want to make sure that we've got terrain selected over here and over here so that we don't accidentally run the weather radar. Last but not least, the oil quantities are good, the hydraulic quantities are good, and we can do a recall down here for the autoland system and a recall up here, and that's all looking good. Alright, wonderful. So that's our basics done. Then let's move down into the FMS and start our setup. So 737-8, 28K engine, nav database is up to date. Then we can go for the position in it and take the GPS position. And now for the route, we're going from ENTC towards ENSB. And our call sign will be November Oscar Zulu 396. Like that. Now for the departure. I suppose we don't actually know which runway is active with the calm winds, so let's go ahead and listen to the ATIS and see what they are going to say. So, terminal charts and use airports from FMS complete. So, ATIS 126130, let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
On the ramp, maintain awareness of surrounding aircraft. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Golf. Tromso Airport, information Golf. 1220 Zulu. Arriving and departing runway 18. Wind calm. Visibility 10.
Okay, so runway 18 is in use and we're departing towards Longyearbyen, so it's probably gonna be the Longyearbyen 6 Bravo.
Dew point -2. QNH 1000. Transition level 9 or 0. Jet blast caution on the ramp.
So, QNH 1000. Oh, come on, what is this strange thing doing? Click spots are not very well aligned here. The click spots are not very well aligned at all. Here we go. That's looking better. 1000 on each side. Alright then, good. So, Longyearbyen 6 Bravo departure. Then let's go for the route and start entering that. So we continue via Papa 853 towards Ampis. And then our arrival is going to be the localizer approach to runway 27, I suppose. And then we can search for our transition as well. So let's quickly start with our charts here. Longyearbyen 6 Bravo is set, and then we can go for our destination already. Edit clip, arrivals, and we're looking for the localizer approach into runway 27. And that's one starting out of Rarak. Let's choose that. Okay, beautiful. So, activate and then performance in it. Cost index 15. So, alternate is 3000, final reserve 900, so make that 3.9. Zero fuel weight is expected to be 60 tons, flight level 380. So, the average wind is 276 at 42. ISA deviation is -5. And transition altitude, will put that into 7001. So, noise abatement procedure will be number 1 over here, so acceleration in 3000 feet. And finally for the fixed page, ENTC, 25-mile ring for the MSA over here, and then let's see if we need any radials. We probably will. Actually we don't. It's just 7100, that's it. Maximum 204 knots. Interesting. Okay, well, that's looking good so far. Then let's go for the legs page. So we got waypoint 707, max 204, 708, max 204, 710, and then Longyearbyen. And in here 707, 204, 708, 204, 710, and Longyearbyen. That's all looking good. Beautiful. So that's our FMS setup completed. And let's do the rest of our panel. Refueling is almost done, 7.9 at the moment. That's already good enough. So, cruising level 380, the airport is located basically at sea level. Initial climb, really don't know, probably 7000 or so. Let's just set that, and then we need the runway heading, which is 183. Like that, and we'll set the same on the courses. Like that. So down here, fuel, reset, auto brake, RTO, and we do not need any of those VORs. Let's deselect them. We do need some airport frequencies though, so let's go ahead and have another look at the airport chart. And we just got tower here in 18505. Which is active. Alright, the rest is set. Squawk should be 2000, not 7000. Transponder onto above, and all the rest is set. Okay, beautiful so far. Then, before we go for the briefing, let's actually go for our IFR clearance so that we actually know what we're getting. What's the ATIS identifier again?
Advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information Golf.
Okay, ATIS information, Golf is on board. Then let's go for our clearance. Tromso Tower, Nordic 39R6, information Golf, request IFR clearance to Svalbard. In the meantime, let's start the APU. And wait a moment, we got no answer because wrong frequency. Tromso Tower, Nordic 39R6, information Golf, request IFR clearance to Svalbard.
Clearance on request, stand by.
Okay, that sounds better. That sounds much better. They're talking to us. So, looking at the charts already.
Nordic 396 cleared to Svalbard via the Longyearbyen 6 Bravo departure runway 18. Initial climb to flight level 090. Departure on 123.755 squawk 6441.
Nordic 396 cleared to Svalbard via Longyearbyen 6 Bravo departure runway 18, climb flight level 90, departure 123.755 squawk 6441. So 123.755.
Nordic 396 readback correct.
Flight level 90, and we got runway 18 with the Longyearbyen 6 Bravo and squawk 6441. Like that. Perfect. Alright, cool. Then all that good stuff is entered. Let's go ahead and clear that scratch pad again.
Welcome aboard Norwegian Air Shuttle Flight 396, heading to Svalbard. We're delighted to have you with us today. Please take your seats.
Well, then I suppose we can start with our
Under the seats in front of you.
air conditioning to get it nice and warm.
Feel free to contact any member of our
Ouch, didn't mean to hit that wiper.
Astrid Hansen and my
Okay, cool. Then let's talk about the departure briefing. And I will do it the Airbus way, just because I find that a lot better. So, we are going to depart from Tromso, runway 18, Longyearbyen 6 Bravo, initial climb 90, MSA 7100, and that is without temperature correction since the temperature is still positive. We have extra fuel and time for about 15 minutes in the form of 600 kilograms. So, no hotspots for our taxi out. We do have to backtrack runway 18, shouldn't be a problem here with as little traffic as they have. Now, a stop margin for an RTO will be a few meters only. Engine out sit, we follow the standard instrument departure, climbing to flight level 80. Nothing special or non-standard, and threats for the departure are most definitely the terrain, so we will be using the terrain display over here. Apart from that, the only miscellaneous item I have is this 204 knot speed restriction that we've got initially, so we might have to keep the flaps extended. Do you have any questions or suggestions? No? Perfect, then that's our briefing completed. Okay, then safety inspection checklist and before start checklist down to the line, please. Services on shocks, checked. Maintenance status, checked. Battery on. Electric pumps on. Landing gear lever down. Ship's library checked. Safety inspection complete. IRS mode selectors, nav, gear pins 1 to 3 removed. Probe covers 1 to 3, 4, 5 removed. ELT, armed, flight test. I keep forgetting that one in the max. It's just hidden so well. But looks like everything is working. Beautiful. Okay, so light test checked, oxygen test 100%, yaw damper on, nav transfer and display switches normal and auto, fuel 7.2 required, 7.9 on board, sorry 7.4 required, 7.9 on board, 4 pumps on, cabin utility IV galley power on, emergency exit lights armed, fast belts on, window heat on, air condition and pressurization, PAX auto bleeds on set, pressurization mode selector, auto instruments, cross checked, auto brake, RTO, hydraulics, normal, speed brake. Down to 10, parking brake set, stop from cutout switches normal, wheel fire warning checked, radius, radar and transponder, set standby, rudder and aileron trims 3 and 0, takeoff briefing discussed, holding at the PA. Well, boarding should be long completed by now, so let's go ahead and prepare for pushback and departure. De-icing is not needed, and then let's say hello to our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Norwegian, welcome aboard our Boeing 737-8 on our flight to Svalbard. Flight time today, 1 hour and 25 minutes, expecting a smooth flight at an altitude of 38,000 feet or about 12,000 meters. Make yourself comfortable, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and we are just finishing up the last paperwork. Once that is done, we will make our way towards our departure runway, departing to the south, then making a right-hand turn to the north all the way to Svalbard. Thank you for your attention. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. Okay.
Back all runway and hold
So,
short
then let's do our
instructions.
departure.
Advise on initial contact. You have information golf. Troms Airport, information golf. 1220 Zulu. Arriving and departing runway 18. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, broken at 6500 feet. Temperature 2. Dew point -2. QNH 1000. Transition level 9 or 0. Jet blast caution on the ramp, maintain awareness of surrounding aircraft. Advise on course heading.
Alright, so with that entered, let's start with the performance. Zero fuel weight is 60 tons, and that is exactly what we've got in here anyway. Okay then, let's do some takeoff calculations. Complete this. Calculate. Will you? I think it is confused because I had previously calculated with a lower weight, but no, it looks good. Okay, so takeoff 2, 33 degrees. Flaps 5, CG 19.2. And the speeds 36, 36, 44. Why are they so different? 79. Oh, because the takeoff weight is completely off. But why is that? Oh, I think I know. Yep, here it is. 8,143, and what's the trip fuel? $3,191. Now let's do that again. And looks like Duret 2 is insufficient. Duret 1 works at 35 degrees. Alright, 86.1% N1. And that checks. Speeds 39, 40, 48. And that looks good. Okay. That looks a lot better. Alrighty. So then, ground from flight deck. Please confirm that all the doors and hatches are closed, and then you can remove the ground equipment, please. And the parking brake is set. So, equipment is gone. Please confirm all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment removed, and bypass pin is installed. All confirmed. Tromso Tower, North 3906, request pushback and startup. Nordic, not Norse. I keep confusing all those 100 Norwegian airlines.
3906, pushback and startup approved. Face north.
Pushback and startup approved, facing north, Nordic 3906. Okay, before start checklist, yeah, complete the entire checklist. PA complete, FMC CDU set, N1 and EAS bugs, automatic, reduce takeoff 1 at 35 degrees, 394048 set, stop trim 6.5 set, performance weight and balance, sign send, phones off, EFB, airplane mode and stilled, flight windows and cockpit door, locked, doors closed, passengers seated. Complete down to the line, air conditioning packs off, anti-collision on, parking brake set, transponder alt off, before start checklist complete. So, ground flight clear to push and start, face north, parking brake set. Okay, that's gonna be nose right, release parking brake. Parking brake released, start on the pushback and step by for engine start. Roger. And here we go. Okay then, we are ready for engine start. Sequence will be number 2, then number 1. Roger.
Attendants, arm doors and cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen,
Starting engine 2.
welcome aboard Norwegian Air Shuttle Flight 396, heading to Svalbard. We're delighted to have you with us today.
And 2.
Please take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in
And
the
1.
bins.
The motoring should be pretty short because of the low temperatures here.
Feel
Yep, that was quick indeed.
Attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, as it contains important information even for frequent flyers. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fitting into the buckle until you hear a click. To tighten, pull the strap. To release, lift the buckle. Remember, your seatbelt must be fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated.
So let's just dim those displays a little bit.
To the upright position.
Not gonna get any brighter today. We're going right into the winter night here.
Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode, and larger devices like laptops should be securely stowed during takeoff and landing. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board.
Okay, start a cutout, monitor 2.
In the unlikely event of a loss
Isolating a pack, starting 1.
oxygen masks will drop automatically. Pull the mask firmly towards you. Place it over your nose
And 2.
and breathe normally.
And 1.
Make sure to secure your own mask before assisting others. Your life vest is located
And the pushback is completed. Set your parking brake.
over your head, fasten it, and inflate
Parking brake
it
set.
after leaving the aircraft. Special life vests for children are available. Floor level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which is clearly marked. There are 2 exits at the front and 2 at the rear of the cabin. The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an evacuation, please leave all personal belongings behind and follow the crew's instructions immediately. For your safety, please adopt the brace position if instructed. Remember to follow crew instructions at all times. The safety information card in your seat pocket contains all details. Thank you for your attention and enjoy your flight.
Okay, we have 2 good engine starts. Please prepare the airplane for taxi. See you on the left hand side and have a good day. Bye bye. Start a cutout, monitor 1. Waiting for the red maximum EGT mark to disappear. Here it is. Number 1 stable. Okay, and there's the ramp agent holding a pin. Then let's continue. We do actually not need the de-icing today. So, flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. And neutral. Alrighty. B4 taxi checklist. Generators on, APU off, start switches continuous, probe beat on, anti-ice off, air conditioning, PAX auto, bleeds on, isolation valve auto, flaps 5 required, 5 selected and a green light, step trim 6.3 units set. Start levers, idle detent, flight controls, checked, recall, checked, B4 taxi checklist complete.
Tromso Tower, Scandinavian 14902, established on the RNAV, W runway 18. Scandinavian 14902, roger.
Nordic 3906, request taxi.
Nordic 3906, runway 18 taxi via Yankee Echo.
Runway 18, taxi via Yankee Echo, Nordic 3906. Clear right side, clear left side, brake released, config. So Yankee Echo is basically all the way straight ahead and then off to the right. Before takeoff, checklist to the line, please. Config, checked, flaps, 5, green light, stop trim, 6.3 set, takeoff briefing. It's a left seat takeoff, runway 18, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure number 1, takeoff speeds 139, 140, 148, which is set. PAX auto bleeds on, anti-ice off, and that is absolutely possible today. We've got nothing special or non-standard high terrain which we are aware of and which we can see, and as long as we can see it, it's not a threat. And that's really it. Any questions? No? Okay. So, cabin. Meep meep. Secured. Before takeoff checklist completed to the line. Nordic 396, request backtracking runway 18. Let's see if the inbound aircraft is already close enough or if we can still do it.
Nordic 396, runway 18, backtrack approved.
Backtracking runway 18 approved, Nordic 396. Okay, so strobe light is on, the left side is clear, the right side is clear. Let's already turn on TCAS. I want to know where the inbound is. Seven miles, okay. That will be easily possible. Why does this strange thing give me MCP speed as active mode here? That's nonsense, of course. Nordic 396, ready for departure.
Nordic 396, no delay. 320 Neo on a 5-mile final runway 18, wind 010 at 3, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 18, cleared for takeoff, Nordic 396. Okay, before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP, set, transponder, Tara, strobe lights on, landing lights on, before takeoff checklist complete. Oh god, stupid auto throttle. Okay, stabilized. Sub takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. $80 knots, checked. Rotate. Positive climb, gear up. LNAV.
Nordic 396, contact departure on 123.755.
123.755, Nordic 396. Tromso departure, Nordic 396, passing 2,800, climbing level 90. Okay, speed 204.
Nordic 396, Tromso departure identified, climb flight level
Flaps
090.
Climbing flight level 090, Nordic 396. Okay, tell you what, flaps up. Those 5 knots are not going to matter. Okay, we no longer need that timer.
Climb flight level 0.
Nordic 396, climbing flight level 220. Engine anti-ice on. And we have flaps up, no lights. So we got VNAV, then let's do the after takeoff checklist. Aircon and press, 2.0 climbing and set. And holding at altimeters. Set standard. Standard, cross check, passing flight level 82. Now. Checked. Alright, and that's the after takeoff checklist complete. Then let's release the cabin crew. Just incredible how this airplane climbs. The only problem is the real one doesn't climb that good. The 737 MAX very much climbs like an Airbus, because the engines are basically the same. Alright then, going through 10,000. Let's wait a moment here until we finish the turn, then we can start accelerating. And then do the 10 checks.
Dear guests, we are now at a safe altitude, and I'm pleased to inform you that the lavatories are now available for your use. You may also use your approved electronic devices in flight mode. Our cabin service will begin shortly, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Oh, and just a little heads up, after our meal service, we'll be coming around with some articles from the
All right. Command A, and 10 checks. Fuel is balanced.
Nordic 3906, climb flight level 290.
Climbing flight level 290, Nordic 3906. Alright, set 290 checked. So, fuel balanced, now 6 pumps on, lights off, APU off, air condition and pressurization is at 4.2, climbing and set, fasten belts. Yeah, we can release them. Auto, recall, checked, and monitoring 1 to 1.5. 10 checks complete. Engine anti-ice off. And engine anti-ice is off. Alright, beautiful. So with that we are on the way. Now let's ask the important question, that's are we gonna be on time? And yes, arriving at 18, the schedule, I wanted to instinctively look at the EFB there. Schedule is 25, so we are right on time, beautiful. 4.7 is the fuel, 4,000 is the minimum, so that, where is it? 3.9 is the minimum, giving us 800 kilos, that's 20 minutes extra. Alright, beautiful then. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight, and then I see you all when we start our approach into Svalbard. an approach into Svalbard, and while we are still in a little bit of a discussion with air traffic control whether we are going to fly the RNAV approach or the localizer approach, ATC wants us on the RNAV, I'm insisting on the localizer, we can in any case start preparing for the arrival. So let's go ahead and ask them to fly direct to Xesla for the start of the approach. Nordic 39R6 request to proceed direct Xesla. So 1000 to go. Fasten seatbelt sign on. And then weather is not going to be a factor here. You can have the terrain as well.
Nordic 3906, direct Xesla approved. Proceed direct Xesla.
Nordic 3906 proceeding direct Xesla, request descent altitude 5000. So let's start reducing that speed a bit so that we can just drop down when required.
Descend 5000.
She doesn't seem to be too motivated. Descending 5000, Nordic 3906. So 5000 is set, and then let's get that speed brake in use. Oh god, I hate the way this lever is simulated. So buggy. This is not my joystick doing noise. My joystick's working perfectly, as you can see on any other flight I do. This is the iFly. Okay, so we are now inwards to Xesla, and we're going down to 5000. From there we are going to start the approach into Svalbard. Let's go ahead and have a very quick look into the approach briefing after doing the 10 checks here. So fuel is balanced, 4 pumps on, the lights are on. Well, I'll tell you what, logo and wheel well light can come on as well. So air compressed, 3.6 descending set, fasten notes on, angle of bank 25, recall checked, and that's the 10 checks complete. Alright, so for the approach briefing, let me show you what we are going to do. We will fly the localizer approach regardless of what ATC is going to tell us here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now
Starting out from 5000, descent point is at the Fox India 27, 12.8 DME, 3.6 degree descent, and the minimum is 510, and this minimum down here is also the reason why I want to do the localizer approach, because the RNAV approach has a minimum somewhere above 1000 feet. Alright, and we're caching that profile again, VNAV, and speed brakes retracted. Great, so, then I'd say let's just do the briefing. So this is going to be a localizer approach into runway 27. The minimum is going to be 510, and I don't know why it hasn't synchronized that. Let me barrel minima here. Here we go. So 510. And we can also set the QNH already. 1007 cross check, passing 7.6. Now, checked. Okay, good. So that's that. For the arrival, or rather for the go-around, it's going to be straight ahead and then a left-hand turn back to Longyearbyen, climbing 4,500. And extra fuel and time, we arrive with 4.8 and the minimum is 3.9, so we have about 20 minutes extra. We'll fly the approach using flight director guidance and flaps 30, auto brakes 2, maximum reverse. The runway is in a good and dry shape today, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Stop margin, few hundred meters, and we vacate the runway with the backtrack. So if we do have a look up here, then you can see it's going to be landing on 27, backtrack at the end, and then all the way via Bravo or via Alpha down to the terminal. We're parking position number 2 today, and that's really it. So it's going to be vacated via Bravo. Alright, so I don't have anything special, I don't have anything non-standard, and in terms of the airport weather at our destination, that is actually quite okay at the moment. So the latest from Svalbard currently gives us 310 degrees, 12 knots, temperature -6, QNH 1008. Okay, so we can correct this, 1008. Well, we will be using VNAV guidance, and the minimum temperature, where is it? Is there no minimum temperature published? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, so be it. Though that does really surprise me, but okay. Cool, so that's basically that. Any questions? No? Alright, briefing completed. So, first check please. Frequencies should absolutely be down here, seem to be broken. Okay, that's fair enough. So, 109.5, 1, 2, and 3 times. We don't need any rings for today's approach. Idents should also be down here, are also broken. Lima Alpha, and that's cross-check. Standby instrument set, courses 291. Approach checklist. Ultimate instruments, set cross-checked, approach aids, checked and set, approach checklist complete. So, flaps 1. Speed checked.
2500.
Terrain noted. And for approach and descent. 600 feet set, VNAV path, speed intervent. Flaps 5. Speed checked. Flaps 5. Alrighty, so Warlock captured. Runway heading 291.
2500.
Engine anti-ice on. And the passengers are seated. Well then, established on final. Now this is something you don't do every day, is it? Beautiful terrain. Okay, so we are now at 11 DME. At 10 DME, we're supposed to be in 3,930.
Svalbard Airport at your 1 o'clock, 11 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency. Have a good afternoon.
Change to advisory approved. Nordic 396. Bye bye. So, Longyearbyen information 118.1. Longyearbyen information Nordic 396 established RNAV runway 27. Okay, passing 9 miles. 3550 seems about okay.
Nordic 396, Svalbard Airport, Longyearbyen info, Longyearbyen information received, runway 27 noted.
Alright, runway is on site. So, passing 8 DME, and we are on glide. 7 DME next at 2,780.
2500.
Terrain noted. And that's 7 DME, and we're actually 80 feet low, but we have visual fielded. So that's okay. Gear down, flaps 15. And flaps 30. Speed checked. Flaps 30. So we are not going to get a landing clearance here. That is expected. Then landing checklist. Start switches. Continuous. Recall. Checked. Speed brake. Armed. Green light. Landing get down 3 green. Auto brake 2 set. Flaps 30, 30, green light, landing light on, landing checklist complete. Alright. So, recycle the flight directors. Go around altitude set. And manual thrust, please. Wow. This just looks incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Caution, obstacle.
No.
Caution, obstacle. Caution, obstacle.
Come on, shut up.
Caution, obstacle.
Should be that one. Thank you.
1,000.
And of course, that is the kind of distraction that gets you to overshoot the final. Nordic 3906 on short final runway 27.
Approaching minimums.
Checked.
Nordic 3906, runway 27 confirmed, continue approach.
Minimums.
Continue.
$400.
Getting a little high, correcting. By the way, something nice about those Nordic fields here is that you can see that they got additional lights on the aiming point
200.
to make it a bit easier when it's completely dark everywhere.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
So, speed brake up, thrust as normal. Manual brakes. So we'll have to let it roll to the end. Even though the runway does seem like it's pretty tidy at the moment, we really don't want to risk anything. So we'll use the turn pad at the end for our 180. Okay, here we are. Nordic 3906. We are doing a 180 at the runway end and thereafter taxiing to position 2 via Bravo.
Svalbard is home to the northernmost permanently inhabited settlement in the world. It's a unique place where Poland...
Look at all those houses here.
Thank you for flying.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Nordic 3906, approved. Proceed with the 180 at the runway end and taxi to position 2 via Bravo.
The entire crew would like to say goodbye to you now. The local time here is 11:22. For those of you who...
Alright.
Please take care.
Yeah, no one has a connection here.
Departs at 12:30 from gate 2.
The only connection might be to a boat.
Tromso. Departs at 1:15 from gate 3. Thank you.
So 4 units trim, here we go. Alright, so flight director off. Come on. LNAV logic not correctly implemented. Speed should jump to 0 when you do this on the ground. Okay, engine anti-ice off. There's no risk of contaminating the engines here. I would have probably expected a little bit more snow on the runway, but looks like they're very much on top of it over here, so easy going. Okay, so GSX ramp number 2. No follow me needed, handling by Norwegian. Even though I significantly doubt that any airline has their own handling services at an airport like this. There's probably one single company doing everything. So start APU. Alright, and here comes Bravo. So that's a little bit of snow over here. But again, nothing significant. So, position number 2 should be a turn to the left and then into the right. If only we would have any ground staff here. APU available, and on the bus, lights off. Are they standing there? I think that's our guys, aren't they? But position 2 is over here, so don't ask me what these are doing. We'll stay right here. Okay, so 2 blue, 1 red, engines dead. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Alright, both engines below 20, and the transit shutdown checklist, please. Electrical on APU, fast melts off, probe heat auto, anti-ice off, air conditioning packs auto, engine bleeds on, APU bleed on, exterior lights set, start switches off, auto brake off, speed brake down tint, flaps up no light, parking brake set, start levers cut off, weather radar off, transponder, 2000 standby, CBR, CB in, cockpit door unlocked, transit shutdown checklist complete. Well, my friends, and that's everything I can offer you today. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. Again, thank you very much to InnyBuilds for providing me with a review copy of Svalbard. I really enjoyed flying here, it's an absolutely amazing approach. And for the time being, that's going to be it from my side, so thank you very much for watching. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.